Hi, everybody. It is April 15th, Tuesday. And yeah, I'm just doing my monthly update. Um, as you can see, a lot of stuff is going forward, pretty well. As far as, this worldwide wake up call, yeah, the world is changing for a more positive, outcome. Um, But as usual, there's going to be a lot of pushback, not only from the controllers because they're losing control, but also from just regular people, because they're, we're all get so used to a system, whether it's a corrupt system or not. Change is always, it's not really welcome because everybody gets comfortable paying taxes, even though they don't have to or shouldn't. Income taxes, it's been illegal forever, but Uh, so yeah, so I mean, there's gonna be a lot of sort of growing pains as we go forward because there's just so much going on, and we're changing to a better system, and also there's gonna be more revealing of of hidden technologies and things like that going forward. So it's gonna be a little bit surprising for some people, but then other people, it's like, wow, this is a long time coming. I wish they would have done this. So as far as uh, going forward, I'm I'm sort of watching this in some ways, uh, kind of surprised. Like for instance, how we're going to be changing the way the world trades more around the world. You know what I mean? So the it's going to be basically trying to make things more fair because these trade tariffs and market manipulations and currency manipulations have been going on for a long time, and it's mostly just arbitrary for the controllers. So now we're sort of dismantling that system going forward. I mean, the whole point is to try to have an even playing field for sure. I mean, if you do that, this rule can actually start growing because even myself being a small businessman, I don't want to engage in some sort of financial battle or whether I'm coming up with a product or idea, a concept, I because I'll lose because the way this world is set up, it's completely unjust. It's like it's kind of crazy because when I started, you know, being more self-employed, starting in the '80s, little '90s, I started to watch how everything was being technology and machinery is being shipped overseas to get things made cheaper. So it's all about more profits rather than trying to keep business in going in your own country to employ people and things like that. It's like to me, it's like why is this going on? This is completely it's like destroying your own country from within, and that's been going on for decades, let alone probably all this time. So yeah, as things change going forward, it's going to try to make things a little more fair and so we're headed for a lot of changes. Um, but as painful as it might seem, it's going to be for the better. So now I want to change subjects to something that it's not really discussed that much, but higher dimensionals. Like I'm going to try to explain what is a higher dimensional being, as well as if they participate in um, worldly affairs. I might have touched on it before, but I'm going to try to describe this a little bit better in my book, which hopefully will come out maybe in a couple months or something. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But as far as higher dimensional beings are concerned, it's like we have a sort of a level of learning. It's like learning levels, and I consider it. I look at it. It's like a school. It's like a you know it's like a spiritual lessons, spiritual classes, and they they kind of vary because when you learn all your basics, in, let's say, all the grade schools, you sort of keep advancing to more sort of difficult levels. There are more things to learn and accomplish. So as you go up these grade levels, you become a higher dimensional spiritual being. And what separates the dimensions are basically frequencies. So these lower levels are on this, it's exactly like octaves on a piano. It's like you do the lower octaves, then as you go up, uh, they harmonize, and it's pretty much an exact duplication over and over and over again of a scale. But when you get to be a higher dimensional being, which is basically an old soul, an old spirit that has learned a lot through millions of years, we're talking millions and billions of years, because as you know, the strange concept that people have to pick up on is we never die. So that's a separate topic, I know, but so your spirit just keeps going on and learning more complex levels of learning spiritual lessons, which is kind of, I guess, in a sense, a way of sort of purging bad behaviors or selfish behaviors and becoming more selfless and think of us as a whole. So that's sort of as you go up levels. So these higher dimensional beings, not only are they not supposed to interfere, but they don't generally interfere with lower levels because it's they went through them themselves, and it's like, okay, it's a learning thing, and nobody really dies. So it's like, okay, you want to give them coaching or some good advice, but you can't interfere with their own levels of learning. So in this case, as far as Earth is concerned, yeah, there's higher dimensional beings that are watching, mostly watching and observing of what's going on and trying to give advice, but the only way they can do it, and this is why this is kind of a strange topic, is because they're on a higher dimension, which is a higher frequency, they can't really intermingle, they can't interact. The only way they can really interact onto to lower levels of vibration, sort of, is they have to incarnate into a body into that, on that level. So in a sense, they're doing the same thing that all the other spirits are doing as well. So they're incarnating into a physical body, having an experience on the lower levels. So it's almost like you can't differentiate a higher dimensional being because they're coming down to your level, to lower levels, to interact with you. In other words, they can't just come down as a glowing entity or just a pure energy, because they can't interact with you physically because it's pure energy. So that's why they choose physical bodies to incarnate into. And I know because I'm one of them. I have chosen to incarnate into a physical body, but mostly to observe and to be honest, I'm learning a lot too as well because I've never been. This is my third time being into this physicality. I've been physical in other places, other universes. I know this is out there, but yeah. So, but again, like I said, it's like we're not really to interfere with the affairs of man, or in this case, yeah, humans on Earth, but we don't, whether we incarnate on other planets or in other universes, it's the same rules apply. It's like we're not really there to interfere. So makes you ask the question, well, why do we even come into these worlds. A lot of times it's just literally to observe and to learn some new lessons for us, but also it is to help. Um, I mean, if it's a normal progression of learning, there's no need for us to interact or interfere or anything, you know. But it's only when things get way, way disproportionate that that we try to help out. So, and it's not just us. We're usually linked or part of a council. And yeah, in my case, yeah, I'm here as a council of beings. I'm just one of the physical incarnations on Earth uh, to be an observer. So yeah, in my case, it's like I'm just here to. Well, they're watching whatever I see and whatever I do and whatever I experience. So not only is it intel gathering, but also they get a feeling of what's going on, and yeah, they know that people here are really being taken advantage of, and it's way worse than most people can imagine. You know how bad it can get down here, and it's mostly because of the controllers' interference with our free will being down here. So that's what we're trying to help get everybody out of, is that situation where we should be free to make those choices ourselves, and also we shouldn't be living with such misinformation. It's absolute lies, not only history, but yeah, we're being lied to constantly to for them to take advantage of us. So we're slowly, and yeah, what I mean by slowly is like this is taking years to try to correct. So in a sense, what higher dimensional beings are doing is trying to give advice or kind of give it a nudge in certain directions. One of the things that they do involve themselves into is physical catastrophes. They basically slow them down or stop them. They stop that from happening because that's just interfering. It's just getting in the way of progression of us learning. Because you got to remember, this is all about spiritual lessons of interacting with other spirits in physical bodies, but maintaining a lifestyle. So it's not about control of industries and try to make us all financially successful or something. That's not the point of these lessons. I mean, they don't want us to be living under slavery conditions and also cataclysmic situations. So that's kind of what they do, is they're mitigating everything basically to making sure and steering it in the right direction as best they can without absolutely overtly interference. So it's always kind of subtle, and that's kind of what I try to do too. It's like I'm not trying to force any issues or anything. It's up to everybody to make up their own minds. But the best way to do that is with real, unmessed with information. Like if you can get the real story of what's going on and how people are participating and how they react to each other and basically interacting with each other, you need more truth. You need more, so that way you can be having a more informed decision on your decisions. So that's kind of how higher dimensional beings interact with people here on Earth. I just wanted to touch on that. And as we go forward, it'll start stabilizing more. But like the main point now is we're going in the right direction. That's not the case it was, 5, 10 years ago. We were really heading for destruction. So now we're kind of on a good path, and things are going to start getting more positive as we go forward. but it's not going to happen quickly. That's one thing that everybody's been kind of noticing is this is kind of a slow moving, slow moving wake up call. So that's kind of the trajectory we're on right now. So that's all I've got for today, and I'll give another sort of update next month. Okay, talk to you later, and stay positive as usual.